Good evening to those of you in the US, and good, I guess, afternoon to those of you in Australia. Today we got what was anticipated, the Australia and New Zealand tour dates for Iron Maiden, the first tour dates to be announced in 2024 so far.
Yes, so earlier last week, they had put a promo out on YouTube where they had, they kind of flash back to like Eddie clips from last year's, or sorry, not last year, back in 2019. That's that long ago. Flashbacks from that tour when they were hinting at Australia and Japan. And then they kind of like meshed it together with new clips of the current tour.
Teaser of I can just put some screenshots up. Like obviously there's Japanese flag, and they're just teasing Japan and Australia. And today, a week from when that happened, we got the dates for at least Australia and New Zealand. People thought maybe we'd get Japan today too, but that didn't seem to happen. So
yeah, and we kind of got tipped off from a lot of people that it was going to get announced in New Zealand first.
Yeah, so there was a guy on the forum. Thanks for sharing all of this information today. But he said yesterday, I believe, that a radio station or a radio podcast that he listens to was teasing that there would be an international act coming to New Zealand that was like an international rock act, and they're really well known, they're really good.
And they also played at Power Trip.
Well, that's what they went on to say today, is they were hinting it again, saying like, oh, we'll be interviewing one of the singers who was at Power Trip. And so
Aussie?
I mean, they just teased that, and it was 1 week from when the teaser came out, so we kind of all knew, okay, that's Maiden.
Yeah, and it's like as soon as it hit 2 o'clock our time, we start hearing, Run to the Hills and, and the Trooper.
We had the radio station on. They announced the Iron Maiden thing right away, but
yeah, so they kind of like made music started playing immediately, and then they finally announced like there's one show in New Zealand. But we did get some Bruce talk. We got some good little nuggets and sound bites from him.
Yeah, we did get some good stuff from that. So we'll go ahead and play that for you now.
It's great to have you and the boys back.
Yeah. Oh no, it's really exciting. I mean, I love coming to New Zealand. What a great bunch of people.
Do you sense, not that you've ever gone away, do you sense Iron Maiden are as big or bigger than ever? Because I don't think little old New Zealand has ever had 21 Iron Maiden songs in a countdown before.
The trajectory of our career over the last 5-10 years has been spectacular.
Yeah.
I'm still going. I just turned 65. I never in a million years imagined, like 30 years ago, that at 65 I would still be still alive, be loving being alive, and C, able to rock out with Maiden for 2 hours on stage every night. And we're still playing all the songs in the original key. We don't detune anything or drop things or do stuff like that. We still play all the songs too fast. And there's none of this stuff they do now where everything is to a click track or to a time code. We've never done that.
No.
So we are, proper old school in that respect.
So he mentions, being 65. He mentions how much, he can't believe he's still doing it.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that with all our members, really. Like Steve was like, 15 albums, we're done. I think I remember it was either him or Bruce mentioning something about not even being able to fathom being a band in 2010.
Yeah, and that was how long ago?
If we were to fly Ed Force One with you, again, being our pilot, what could we expect as entertainment on a long-haul flight?
Oh, well, I'd probably be jumping up and down in the aisles doing like tap dancing or something, because, but they won't let me be a pilot anymore because I'm too old, 65.
Oh, right.
Yeah, 65, that's it. They take you around the back and shoot you, when you're that old.
So there was a passing mention of Ed Force One, and Bruce just kind of joked that, he'd be taken out back.
And shot because he's too old to do it. So I thought it was interesting because, that was one of the things that we didn't know if Bruce might be hinting at with that end of tour video. Like maybe they would do an Ed Force One. I don't know.
It's like when it comes to a world tour in Australia, Japan, like it it's a question worth
It
asking.
is, and I think it's still a possibility that they haven't announced that yet, but like they would have to have their own pilot and everything.
I just feel like without Bruce piloting it, it's not as big of a marketing thing as it would be. You know?
Yeah, and that might be like if they did still have like a plane with all the stickers and stuff on it.
I would love it.
Then that would be cool, but it would also be a reason to kind of hold off the announcement.
Yeah. But it also, asking that question gave Bruce a chance to kind of announce it if there was something there, but he didn't. So I'm not really expecting it at this point.
You guys are renowned for your spectacular live shows. What can we expect when you're here September next year? Any surprises?
It can't be that much of a secret because everybody now, is Francis Ford Coppola on their iPhone.
Of course.
You go and even draw breath. So whatever you see on YouTube, we'll be doing stuff like that, but it's 10 times better when you see it in the flesh. I mean, when Eddie comes out 2 or 3 times during the show, we have a big gunfight. Me and Eddie were using these. They're actually these big like comets that shoot about. They're probably good for about 15, 20 meters. These things. Now I've got to save my bullets for Eddie because he comes, we shoot back, and it's. I've got to say he's getting more accurate as we go through. So it's a bit of a worry.
And then of course he mentioned that there won't really be anything too crazy and new and surprising. Like basically what you saw on YouTube is what you'll see.
Yeah, and he was pointing right at Captain Harris, and he said, "You've seen it from Captain Harris."
How dare they film at the concert? But yeah, and obviously I will save changes speculation for another video because I obviously am full of thoughts on that.
But he was just talking about the show, the stage show.
Like, he brought up, a lot of it was very long-winded, so I did kind of cut to the chase on some of this. But he mentioned like the pyro gun and everything for Heaven Can Wait.
Yeah, I mean, it was mostly just joking around about shooting Eddie and how far the pyro can go, and then telling stories of like towar's past pyro incidents.
So not too much to expect different stage show-wise, but...
No, so same stage show, set list, maybe a different story.
We'll talk about that another day.
How long do you see it going? I mean, the Rolling Stones are in their 80s, they're still going. Is it just year by year for you, or is it just when you're still enjoying it, you'll keep on going with Iron Maiden?
No, I mean, I'm looking out as far as like end of 2026 at the moment. Of things we're planning to do, might do. I mean, at any moment, the world might implode, piano might fall on my head, stuff like that. But short of that, we're loving what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're sounding, I think, really good. And everybody's like really chuffed to be doing what we're doing,
It's generational now for you, obviously. More than that, isn't it?
Well, we are multi-generational, so I sometimes, we'll name check a particular album and I'll go, hey, who in the audience was born after we released that record?
Yeah.
And it's just amazing how many hands go up. You think, wow, okay, your mum and dad, obviously, do they know you're here? Because they're obviously busy that night,
Yeah.
So the question that everyone has every day of every year is, when is Maiden going to retire? And of course, the interviewer has to throw that question in. And, well,
it just, it was actually something that annoyed James and I earlier because everybody's always speculating about the worst with Maiden, like, oh, they're done, they've not got any time left, this is going to be the last year they're touring.
It's always, this is definitely the last tour, this is definitely the last album.
And I've been hearing this for years. Like, I told him I was hearing it since 2017. And as you can see, Bruce said that they can see as far as the end of 2026 at least.
So they basically have plans or what they might do as of the end of 2026. Yeah. So we've still got years of touring ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that's thrilling to hear because it's any year could be the last. As he said, you never know what's going to happen. The world.
A piano could fall on his head.
He said a cannon, actually.
Oh, I thought he said piano.
No, I thought maybe he said piano. I don't know.
Well, piano is a classic thing to fall on your head.
I know, but I heard cannon twice. I transcribed it for the forum for some people who weren't listening.
We're not going to fact check this. Did he say piano or cannon?
Piano might fall on my head,
I think it was piano, but...
Shit.
Oh, well, honest mistake.
But, yeah, so he's saying, obviously anything can happen between, now now and then, but the plan is at least what they have through the end of 2026, which, wow, that's so exciting.
And he mentioned, like, they are all chuffed to still be doing this.
I know,
and,
it's so good.
like, it's the thing I just don't understand about, like, the Maiden community at large is the fact that they're so ready to be the one to say, I knew it, they're going to end today.
And it's just so annoying because it's like when they do finally retire, he's going to be like, see, I told you. It's like, well, you told me for the last 10 years, and I've been trying to enjoy, like, the band is at their, like, peak.
And it's like,
right
nobody's
now.
going to like you more for being right.
Right. Like,
So I don't know what the point is.
like, I'm taking it as it comes. When they're done, and I cry about it. But
My thing, and again, in that nugget, he mentioned they haven't tuned down.
Yeah.
You know, they still sound great, which I totally agree. And it's like, when it comes to all other bands in their era, that came from their era, they're all tuned down. They're all, you know, somewhat possibly using click tracks, maybe not super old bands, but
yeah.
definitely a lot of them are using like backing tracks and stuff. And Maiden is fully live, and he joked about they still play too fast, which is just hilarious because that's the way they are. But just I think it's time to stop wishing them to go away so that you can be right.
Well, it's nice now because it's like having that nugget of information is just like, you know, you can kind of reference it like, well, Bruce did say 2026. So.
And unfortunately, some people will take that out of context and say they have plans to 2026 because that's the year they're going to retire.
Yeah, and I don't even think the band knows that.
Ask Steve any day of any year, he's going to say maybe 5 years.
Blimey, I don't know.
I don't know. Cheers.
So that was all the kind of more important tidbits from the radio podcast, The Morning Rumble by Rova. So I will link that below. I don't know if you can still play that. I assume because it's a radio podcast, you probably can.
I think when I went on it, you could actually go back and hit play on certain nuggets of it.
So if you're interested in that whole interview, there was some other stuff in there. I just didn't
Yeah,
really feel like it was
not really
relevant to the
pertaining.
video. So I'll put the link to that below so you guys can go check it out if you want. But yeah, dates. Oh my God. It's always like incredible. And I get like a tight chest and I get like shallow breathing. Like I get so excited.
Because obviously in this fanverse,
Yeah.
people talk, and
Yeah.
we knew something was coming at 2 o'clock our time, and so we were waiting for it, and as soon as there's just something about when this band announces stuff, you just get so anxious for it.
I was just like, oh, my chest. It was like 1:59. I'm just like refreshing the news page on the Maiden site, and like I just saw it change over.
Yeah.
Like I refreshed, like there it is.
So we've got Auckland, we've got some Australia dates.
Yeah, Perth, Adelaide, Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, and I think there's enough time for a second Melbourne date as well.
Yep, second Melbourne date, we think.
And it was really funny when they announced it because it was only New Zealand to begin with, so it was like the big announcement, the big poster, and it was just one date.
Yeah, we were like, we can't make a video about this.
Well, we were like planning to do this earlier in the day, but I'm like, they're gonna go by time zones, and we didn't know if they were gonna announce Japan either, so we waited for a while and nothing came out.
Yeah, so no Japan as of yet, but we assume very soon.
I think it's gonna be like a 2016 style announcement. Like I think the first thing we got was the U.S. dates, and they all came together at once, kind of like Australia came all together at once. But it was over like the course of about a month, maybe a month and a half, that each like country would come out. And I don't think obviously it's going to be as extensive as 2016, but it's like I think that for about the next month, maybe month and a half, we're gonna get just plops of dates.
So do you think the tour is gonna officially start September 1st in Australia?
I do, because there was rumors of them playing Tel Aviv and Dubai as they were supposed to do in 2020 as well, but obviously things in the news. I don't know that they're going to do that anymore. Like, yeah, Dubai, but are they going to go that far if they can't also do Tel Aviv?
Yeah, and then the rumors are heavy on the States, North America, South America, October, November.
Yeah, and the other question is if they do anything else in Asia, because, clearly Japan was heavily hinted at. But, yeah, I mean, they had, I think, was it Malaysia? I don't know.
Oh, then they had the Philippines.
It was it was Manila, Philippines that they had in 2020. That was supposed to be like a little, I think it was just like a day festival, like Death Angel and stuff like that, and that got canceled, unfortunately. But I could see another date getting put in there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they could fill spots wherever they need to.
But yeah, the rumor is that Maiden will be coming to the U.S. and South America in some form. I don't know how extensive of a tour it'll be. You know, being a world tour, it could be cut down, you know, not be quite as extensive as 2019 or 2022. But yeah, it's after Australia and Japan. So like October, November.
Yeah. So there was no like kind of announcement from Rod or anything.
No.
There isn't anything pointing at, you know, set list changes or anything yet.
Well, that's what we were trying to wait on to make today's video. It's just like when there's like a press release from Rod, we'll know it's time to make it. And then the little thing at the bottom, I have screenshots that said, more dates coming soon. And then when the Australia dates came out, it changed to more dates in due course.
Right.
So I'm like, uh-oh, I don't know if we're going to get that press release today.
It's also possible that they're going to do that press release when everything's out.
I know.
So, and then we can start speculating on the tiny changes that might happen.
And I know, like, it's so silly that, like, all the fans and stuff on the forum and everything, we all complain about, oh, we hate when they do the drip dates, but it's like 99.9% of fans are just waiting for them to come to a neighboring city. It's like, it's not meant to be the most useful for, like, the smallest percentage of
Well, that's why they tour, to go to the fans.
Instead, we go to band.
Yeah, we go to band.
But yeah, you know, I gotta really wait for all the dates to come out before I solidly plan what we want to do, because obviously we want to see them next year. I'd love to, you know, do something in South America, but we gotta see what they're doing first, see if I'm interested in where they're going. So
Lots of things could happen.
so much to think about. I love that. I love Iron Maiden. I love seeing Iron Maiden. I love thinking about Iron Maiden. I love
music,
drawing Iron Maiden things and sewing Iron Maiden dolls.
Speaking of sewing Iron Maiden dolls,
Yeah.
did you notice something in that promo video?
You know damn well I noticed. Just trying to make a bit. Yeah, you see this little Dave. I threw that up on stage in 2019 in New York. And he's been chilling in Dave's guitar case ever since, which just warms my little heart. But yeah, I've been making those since 2017.
17, yeah.
And I still make them. Here's David Lee Roth I made. He's going out to one of you, actually, because I advertised my little Dave Murray I made. And
This
you
is
contacted me.
so this is not Dave Murray.
This is DLR, David Lee Roth.
So I was gonna say I don't remember Dave Murray wearing that outfit specifically.
Yeah, it might have been, you know, it was the urchin days.
It was 79,
Yeah.
like before they were big.
Yeah. So, I do these, and I obviously need money for a Maiden tour. So if you would like to commission me to make you a little rock star, it doesn't even have to be a rock star. You want something? You want Gandalf the Grey? You know, keep it on theme with New Zealand.
Gimli.
Gimli? I'll make you a
have
little
to have
character.
half the size,
Yeah,
so.
half the size. But you want a little doll commission, you just email me. I got my email down in the description. It's silverbladecustoms@gmail.com. And, you know, perfect timing for the holidays.
And if you guys haven't noticed, we never beg for subs or anything. So this is a great way to support
I'm begging to make you little guys
little dudes,
little men.
little bros.
who can just chill and stare at you like really creepily as you sleep.
Yeah.
So
On that disappointment,
and I make mini ones too. Like, I don't have them on me, but I just made this James Hetfield as well. So
yeah.
email me.
Email her.
I'll make you something.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I guess that's all we got for today. I'll stop begging. At least I'm not begging for like super thanks or anything.
Super thanks. Could you send a super chat?
That's just
No. Anyway, what shows are you going to go to? People in Australia, what shows are you going to go to? And people not in Australia, are you going to travel to go and see this thing there? Or are you going to wait to see if it comes to you like a normal person?
Yeah, I'm really happy for all you guys in Australia. You guys have waited a long time for this.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the disappointment of the 2020 cancellation. Like, yeah, we had the 2020 cancellation, but it's like, you know, everybody in Europe and stuff just held on to their tickets.
But we all knew it was coming.
There was no holding on to your tickets for Australia. You're just like, sorry, we're not coming. Which,
so
you
what is
know.
it, 2016 or
2016 was the last time.
16? Man, you guys been waiting a long time.
Yeah, it was like 4 years the last time. Now it's like, like 8 years.
So super happy for you guys that you get to see this tour.
Tell us what songs, if you know the set list. If not, then maybe don't watch our next videos where we're speculating. But what songs are you excited for? And, you know, will it be your first time seeing them? Or when was the last time you got to see them?
Yep. So, and obviously look out for Japanese dates. They could drop really any day now. So this video will be outdated very
yes,
quickly. So just
but
consume and move on.
I don't think we're going to cover each announcement, though, so just take that as you will. This
Yep.
is just our initial excitement. So, anyway, I'll stop rambling. We'll see you guys next time.
We will be back.